把你弄几下？
我不痛啊。
不痛了，好。冷吗
You can really see that clean air come into effect. Cindric made a run on Noah Gragson, and it's like he hit that bubble of air and backed up a little bit. Leaders in one.
And he keeps trying, Cindric does, to get out of Noah Gregson's tire trail and look inside, outside. Doesn't work, but they're pulling away for third place. Briscoe has a battle from Herbst now.
Cindric gets a good exit on 2, but he has a little bit of problem getting into 3, and that's what keeps him from getting right to the bumper of the leader. They work all 4.
71 laps complete, 63 to go in the Shady Race 200. Doug, we've seen this movie before in stage 1 and 2. Cindric can stay with Gragson. He can't pass him.
Leaders are back in 1.
And Gragson still has that advantage by 1 car length. Then it's 4 car lengths back to third place. Chase Briscoe. Riley Herbst, a good run tonight. He's there at 4th and 5th place. Justin Allgaier keeping them honest. Up front, still Gregston.
Behind them, Ross Chastain. There's Harrison Burton trying to catch up to Ross Chastain. Then Ryan Sieg and Michael Annett. Here they go off of turn 4. Once again, Gragson out front.
Give a call to Harrison Burton after the pit road penalty. He was 32nd. He has worked his way now back to the 7th position, trying to move up one more, applying heavy pressure to Ross Chastain as Ryan Sieg and Michael Annett close in.
4-car battle there, in for about that 7th spot. Chastain has it. Burton wants it there, and it's been a good run tonight for that Ryan Sieg machine as Michael Annett behind them has fallen back.
Chastain gets a little loose off 2, and Harrison Burton can't take advantage of that. They'll stay nose to tail as they battle into turn 4. Justin Haley right there in the mix. Michael Annett as well. Ryan Sieg there.
A little farther up front, Riley Herbst is really going after Chase Briscoe. Can't get it done. Loses some momentum, and Justin Allgaier will close in on the Monster Energy Toyota.
And they haven't lost sight with Briscoe at all. That's a good 3-car battle, and it seems like they're gaining on our 2 leaders. So 3rd through 5th place as they launch down the back straightaway are catching the top 2.
Briscoe, Herbst, then it is Justin Allgaier. They work down into turn 3. It's a long way back to go find Ross Chastain, who's trying to hold off Harrison Burton. Burton's working it hard.
Just 60 laps to go. Gragson leads by a car length over Cindric. It's 15 car lengths back to Chase Briscoe, Riley Herbst, and Justin Allgaier all knotted up.
They are for that 3rd position there, and they're each about a car length apart. And then it's about 10, 12, 13 car lengths back to Ross Chastain, who's leading a 4-car train of Burton, the 39 machine of Sieg, and the 1 of Michael Annett down in the back straightaway.
Back up front, Cindric once again tracking the leader, just a car length and a half behind him. Then a tight 3-car battle with Chase Briscoe in front.
Let's go down to pit road and hear from O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brad Gilley.
Well, Mark, as you guys can see, Harrison Burton is chasing down Ross Chastain, trying to get around him, and Ross Chastain is not easy to pass. In fact, spotter Rick Corelli was talking to crew chief Ben Bayshore and said, man, it's just going to be hard to get around Chastain. It's like trying to get around Newman. And Bayshore responded like passing a kidney stone.
That's difficult. Looking at the race leader right now, Noah Gragson maintaining that advantage. of just a single car length. Cindric made a good run last lap, couldn't make it pay off. This is allowing, I believe, Briscoe and Herbst and Allgaier to gain on the leaders.
It certainly is. They're about 10 car lengths back of the top two, but they've gained some steam lately as Cindric is running right in the deck lid, just a car length back of the leader, Noah Gragson, down the back straightaway. Good run for Riley Herbst behind them there, catching up to third place Briscoe.
Yeah, here comes Cindric once again, staying right in the mirror of Noah Gragson now. Make him make a mistake. Maybe that's what he's thinking.
Here they are out of turn 4 again. It is Cindric shadowing Gragson across the stripe as they come across the line. Less than 0.2 of a second separate the top two machines.
That clean air really favoring the Junior Motorsports Chevrolet of Gragson there, who's got a couple of wins this season, and Cindric is looking for his first. And then it's the 5-time winner Chase Briscoe leading that 3-car train in third. Everybody staying the same amount apart.
Watching the battle a little further back there. Once again, Ross Chastain just a half a car length out in front of Harrison Burton. Then there's Michael Annett, good run tonight, and Ryan Sieg. Those 4 cars. Now here comes Burton trying to make a move underneath Chastain.
Harrison Burton, who was penalized early in this race, has rallied back. He is now fighting Ross Chastain for that 6th spot. Down to the bottom of the racetrack, dives Burton. Can he make the pass?
He bottomed out as he tried, and he does get the advantage there. Quarter panel pass, Chastain, but he washes up the racetrack. Now Chastain's going to switch spots with him, and Michael Annett's trying to follow by, almost 3 wide, exiting 2.
Great racing there. Annett still trying to look for a way to maybe get 2 for 1 here. Not going to be able to get it done. He's got the highway blocked in front of him. Now Chastain will go right up in front of Annett. He'll block him. Ryan Sieg looks underneath.
Harrison Burton rolls around the outside, and now he'll lead Chastain by 4 car lengths. Behind the Chastain machine, though, it is Ryan Sieg, Michael Annett, door to door.
That battle there between Harrison Burton and Chastain that Burton has won has let all those cars catch up to them. They're exiting off of turn 2 as the leaders are in turn number 3 now.
Anthony Alfredo looking further back at that battle continuing. He picks up a spot as they race into turn 3 and 4. Harrison Burton starting to really move out in front of Ross Chastain. Lead battle, though, heads back to 1.
Cindric looked low, will not make the pass. Let's get a quick update from Brett McMillan.
One thing Noah Gregson's trying to do right now is he's altering his lines every once in a while just a little bit to see if he can get himself a little bit more edge.
Cindric looking to make a pass here. Sorry about that, Brett. We got a battle for the lead.
Down into the backstretch. We can't make it happen that time. Once again, Cindric's nemesis seems to be turn 3. Gragson maintains control.
Well, now let's go back down and finish that thought from Brett McMillan.
We were just talking about Gregson's altering his line just a little bit every once in a while to see if he can build some of his margin just a little bit over Cindric. So to see if he can find something to separate him out.
Well, right now it looks like Gragson has about a 1-car length lead, but Cindric putting the heat on him again, Pat.
Yeah, and this is where Cindric is really good. He's been using the lap traffic. Let's see if he can make something work now as he moves right up in front of the 92 car, Josh Williams.
And Williams will stay high. Gragson goes low. Cindric tries to draft off the Williams and now drops back to the back bumper of Gragson as they go to 1.
Real game of chess here. Different tactics with Gragson and Cindric, how they navigate the lap cars. They now pass Alex LeBay, who chooses the non-preferred bottom line, and they're going to stay single file off of turn 2. And now you see the third place or the other battles starting to catch up to him.
All right, so Cindric will have to settle back now. A couple of car lengths back off of the leader. Here's Gragson midway through 3 and 4. Right behind him, though, Chase Briscoe trying to work through traffic. Justin Allgaier's there.
Good racing here at Kentucky Speedway. 82 laps in the books. Noah Gragson leads Austin Cindric.
Are you tired of staring at that dent? At Mako, getting collision repaired is as easy as book, quote, fix. Come to Mako for a collision repair backed by our best price guarantee. Uh-oh? Better get Mako.
By downloading the free PRN mobile app, you can listen to all of our live race broadcasts anywhere. You'll also have easy access to all of our award-winning studio shows. Get all the latest racing information at your fingertips with the PRN mobile app.
At O'Reilly Auto Parts, we'll help make your auto repair, maintenance, and restoration projects easier. So when your car isn't stopping like it used to, our professional parts people will help you find the brake parts and supplies you need to do the job right the first time. Now, for a limited time, get 15% off a set of Brake Best pads and 2 rotors. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Each day you can hear Garage Pass on PRN, brought to you by yours truly and the great folks at Progressive Insurance. Progressive's Home Quote Explorer is changing the way you buy home insurance. Now you can go online, get a custom quote, and save both time and money. Learn more at progressive.com. Noah Gragson continues to lead by a half second over Austin Cindric. The rest of the top 5, Chase Briscoe, Justin Allgaier, and Riley Herbst. You're listening to PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Do you want your NASCAR news unfiltered? Check out the O'Reilly Auto Parts Pit Reporters.
You have to be winning consistently. You have to be continuing to show why people hype you as this next great driver.
Some people want to hang back to try and avoid the melee, but then once again, you're sacrificing being up front at the end of those stages to collect the points.
I think qualifying is going to be huge, just like it is every week, but maybe more important than ever when it comes to this place.
The O'Reilly Auto Parts Pit Reporters, each week on PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
Hey, this is Bubba Wallace, driver of the number 43 Victory Junction Chevrolet Camaro. Victory Junction is a year-round camp for children living with serious and chronic medical conditions. Each year, nearly 10,000 children and their families get the chance to play, laugh, and do things they never thought possible at Victory Junction at no cost. You can make a difference in a child's life and feel your heart race. Support Victory Junction by texting BUBBA to 36413 or donating online at victoryjunction.org/donate now.
Brandon Brown spins in turn number 4. Lazy, nice, easy spin down into the infield. Pat, I don't think he caught any of the wall, did he?
No, the back bumper of the car looks like it's hanging off of it, Doug, so he had to have made some contact, at least a little bit of it there, as he'll drag that car with his bumper back down the pit road.
So that's going to bring out our 5th yellow of the night.
And again, watching a replay from the Justin Haley in-car camera, they went into the corner, and then it looks like Brown came down on him as Haley went up the racetrack, and Brown got the worst of it as he backed in to the turn 4 wall.
Yeah, Brown did get into the fence pretty good there. The back end of that car is pretty well caved in as Brandon Brown creeping down the pit lane right now. 5th yellow of the day, and it's been a pretty clean race. And Mark, at 134 laps, doesn't take long to get this one in. We've already got 89 laps done.
Now, at this point, Noah Gragson has led 85 of those 89 laps. The only other driver to lead, Chase Briscoe, led 4. And, Doug, those laps were under caution after he didn't pit at the end of stage number 1. But when they dropped the green flag, Gragson motored around him, and he has truly been the dominant car here tonight in the Junior Motorsports Switch Chevrolet.
So what kind of premium does that put on this restart when they turn him loose this time?
Well, it might put a real premium on the next pit stop if they decide to come on to pit road, get tires. I bet most of the teams have them, but will they give up the track position? So far, we've had great wear tonight from the Goodyear tires, and so they might not have to pit for tires, but at this point as well, we got fuel issues coming into play, so I got to believe people will pit.
I think it's going to get really busy. Brandon Brown down on pit road right now. He crashed. He brought out this particular caution. And Mark, did you have a chance to watch the replay again on this crash?
Well, him and Justin Haley had something going on the lap before. Haley hit him 2 or 3 times on the back bumper going down the back straightaway. And then when they went back around the next time, Brandon Brown crowded Haley. Haley came up the racetrack. Brown got the worst of it.
Now, so Brandon Brown's damaged race car right now. He is on the crash clock down on the pit road. Just the 5th yellow of the night here at Kentucky Speedway. And what has been a pretty clean race, dominated to this point by Noah Gragson. We'll see if anybody has anything for him. I'm afraid, and sometimes it bugs me to say this, you might have to win the restart to win this race, although Cindric has a very good race car.
Cindric has been able to get to Gragson all night long, Doug, but has not been able to find a way by. As you talk about, though, what would it be if Cindric controlled the restart and got the lead? Would Gragson have enough to get around him? That is a question we do not know the answer to yet.
We know those are the 2 best race cars. I'm not saying that they're going to win this by any stretch of the imagination, but what we have seen in this race to this point It's Austin Cindric and Noah Gregson.
Cindric has not led a lap, but he has been right there all night long, and I couldn't agree more. But who will come into play? The green light is flashing. The cars are coming onto pit lane, and let's go back down to Brad Gilley.
Oh, and they are all coming in. Austin Cindric did not want to see that caution. He was just biding his time, waiting for Gregson to make a mistake. Told crew chief Ryan Wilson the track is gaining grip. He needs to be more free. They're going to work on that with some air pressure, a little bit of tape on the nose, also 2 cans of Sunoco, 4 fresh tires also in. Harrison Burton, Michael Annett, 4 tires, 2 cans of Sunoco.
Noah Gregson said the car was starting to get a little bit of a vibration, so they're going to give him 4 tires. Also a little bit of piece of tape on the nose to try to free it up a little bit as it was getting just a little bit tight. Tape is there, and he peels out. Justin Allgaier also getting a 4-tire change and an air pressure adjustment.
As they come off the pit lane, it looks like Justin Haley up 10 spots, changing just 2 tires. Jeremy Clements, second off the pit lane, again a 2-tire stop. Then Gregson changed 4. He comes out third, followed by Austin Cindric, Riley Herbst, Chase Briscoe.
We'll take a quick timeout. Come right back to Kentucky Speedway.
Progressive presents The Sounds of the Old World. The year is 2019, and someone is waiting for the previews to start in a movie theater.
Hey, you want anything? Popcorn? Soda? No, nothing?
This has been The Sounds of the Old World. Brought to you by Progressive, where drivers can still switch and save like it's 2019.
Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
You wash the outside, clean the inside, and make sure maintenance is up to date. Pamper your car's engine and fuel system by adding Z-Max Micro Lubricant. Using the fluids as a carrier to reach internal parts, Z-Max literally soaks into metal, dispersing harmful carbon buildup. This helps improve performance, extend engine life, and reduce emissions. Get Z-Max today at zmax.com.
Back here at Kentucky Speedway, working just the 5th yellow of the day. A single car incident involving Brad up in turn 4 a moment ago. The back end of that car is caved in. By the way, our Care Center reports are brought to you by Blue Emu. Blue Emu is the official pain relief cream of the Performance Racing Network. And when the field goes back to green, they would do so when they enter the Geico restart zone. Want an easy way to see if you could save money on car insurance? Geico gives you 3. Call 1-800-947-AUTO. Go online to geico.com or stop by the Geico office nearest you. 3 ways you could save 15% or more. From Kentucky Speedway, this is PRN.
We're no strangers to moving fast.
And we know how life can have that same quality.
But now
is the time to slow down
and reflect.
The events of recent weeks
Highlighted the work we still need to do as a nation to condemn racial inequality and racism.
The deaths of George Floyd,
Breonna Taylor,
Ahmaud Arbery, and countless others in the black community
are heartbreaking and can no longer be ignored.
The process begins with us listening
and learning, because understanding the problem
is the first step in fixing it.
We are committed
To listening with empathy
and with an open heart to better educate ourselves.
we will use this education to advocate
For change in our nation, our communities,
and most importantly, in our own homes.
all of our voices. They make a difference, no matter how big or how small.
It is all of our responsibility
To no longer be silent. To no longer be silent.
We have a long road ahead of us.
but let's commit to make that journey together.
Together.
Ross Chastain caught speeding. He'll have to go to the back of the pack on this restart. When we get going, Justin Haley made only a 2-tire stop. He will start first. Clements did the same. He will start second, followed by Austin Cindric, Noah Gregson in 4th, 5th to Riley Herbst, 6th Timmy Hill. Chase Briscoe is 7th, 8th is Harrison Burton, 9th Anthony Alfredo, and 10th Michael Annett.
Then 11th, Justin Allgaier. Ryan Sieg, 12th. 13th long tonight, top 15 all night. He's Hart. Then Colby Howard, 16th. The Redder and Kyle Weatherman.
Ready to go racing. Just 40 laps left here in the Shady Rays 200 at Kentucky Speedway. On the front row, let's see how well those 2 tires work out for Justin Haley and Jeremy Clements. On the brake, Haley's going to have the advantage on the high side as they roll to the end of the straightaway.
It certainly won't. Allgaiers, it looks like Riley Herbst off the pace. Justin Haley
controls the field. Right behind him, Austin Cindric. There's Chase Briscoe. Clements trying to dig down at the bottom of the racetrack and hang on to this front group as they work all four.
As they work out of turn 4. Down low, across the apron, Austin Cindric will finally lead a lap here at Kentucky.
Right across the nose of Justin Haley, and you know Haley's not going to get that spot up easily there. Cindric goes half a lane up the racetrack and then shoots out of a cannon past them, and just behind Haley, it's going to be a big gaggle of cars down the back straight.
Chase Briscoe trying to find a way around Justin Haley while Austin Cindric is trying to check out. Behind Briscoe is the number 20 car of Harrison Burton, and then there's Michael Annett and Justin Allgaier.
Terrible restart here for Noah Gragson. He is back in 7th. Started 4th on this restart, has dropped several spots. Right now, it's Austin Cindric trying to pull away.
By about 3 or 4 car lengths over Justin Haley. Haley's needed that track position all night, and then it's single file all the way back to the top 15 there, with Chase Briscoe looking right on Haley's tailgate down the back straightaway in 3rd.
Surprisingly, the number 11 making those 2 tires work there. Behind him, Briscoe about a half a car length at Harrison Burton, Michael Annett, Justin Allgaier. Good battle, Riley Herbst being challenged by no
group after a poor restart. He's running 7th, could not get by Herbst. He remains in that spot as they go back to 1.
How long will Justin Haley in the 2nd position, who's losing touch with Cindric out front, be able to hold back Briscoe? What a resurgent restart for Harrison Burton there in that 4th position down the back straightaway.
Briscoe's got to go if he wants to even have a shot at catching Cindric right now. They work in the middle of that 4 or 5 car draft right behind him. Once again, Noah Gragson having a tough time with Riley Herbst.
Cindric right now pulling away from the field. Chase Briscoe, Justin Haley right behind them. It's Harrison Burton, Michael Annett, and Justin Allgaier.
And this is simply because the bottom lane just doesn't work right now. People want to be up in the track, sticky stuff, and that's where Briscoe and the folks behind him and Justin Haley in front of him are. In fact, it's single file all the way back up top.
Once again, Gragson watching him work against Riley Herbst. Can't seem to make anything work there. Behind them, Jeremy Clements having a good run tonight, staying out in front of Ryan Sieg.
With 35 laps to go, Cindric has stretched his lead to a little over 1 second over Justin Haley as he rockets back to turn 1.
In fact, Cindric is way out in front now. In fact, Haley continues to lose touch with him, but this looks like what we see oftentimes. This 2nd place car of Haley's really bottling up the rest of the top 10.
Watching Justin Allgaier try to work on his teammate as these 5 cars right behind start to separate themselves just a little bit. Up in front, though, Briscoe trying to work on Haley all 4.
And looking at Noah Gragson right now, he has fallen back to the 8th spot. And Mark, we see this at practically every race. A guy gets out front, he is in that clean air, car looks like a world beater. You slip on the restart a little bit, you get back in that dirty, messed up stuff, and all of a sudden you're just an average Joe.
And one of the big problems, Doug, all race long, Noah Gragson knew how good his car was out front. No idea how he'd be in dirty air and in heavy traffic, finding out that car is mortal after all. Let's go down to Brett McMillan.
Well, they're trying to help him manage that, Mark, by telling him that, hey, look, every once in a while, poke your nose out, get some clean air. That'll help you get by that 18 car. They're also telling him to manage your entry. Just be patient. You got plenty of time to get back to the front.
Well, 33 laps to go, and Noah Gragson right now is 3.3 seconds out of the lead, riding, I believe, in the 8th spot.
Doug, he just cannot get by Riley Herbst, and this car looked unbeatable. But again, as you talked about, back in dirty air, and again, he didn't know what to expect back there. And again, their car was not set up for that. And now Chastain gets into a lap car. Brett Moffitt, matter of fact, not a lap car. That is a car riding in the 12th spot, and that is going to bring out the yellow flag.
For the 6th time today, the yellow flag will wave here at Kentucky Speedway. Also involved Moffitt, as Mark pointed out. He is limping around the racetrack right now, and the yellow flag waves for the 6th time today.
Geico gets you access to licensed agents 24/7, which means that Geico is always there for you. If only everyone was always there for you. Like your mom, when you fill out really, really important paperwork on the first day of a new job.
Name, check. Birthday, Social Security, is that a thing? Hey, Mom, what is my Social Security number? Mom? Okay, let's guess. 00. Hashtag. Done.
Geico, always there for you with savings and 24/7 access to licensed agents.
Stop overpaying for sunglasses and wear Shady Rays. Shady Rays are premium, polarized shades at a fraction of the price of the big name brands, and they are all guaranteed for life. If you lose or break your pair of Shady Rays, we'll replace them no matter what happens. We have over 50,000 verified 5-star reviews and have an extremely deep deal for you. Visit ShadyRays.com and use code XM for 50% off 2 or more pairs. That's shadyrays.com with code XM for 50% off 2 or more pairs.
Mark, we've had a couple of times to watch the replay of what created caution flag number 6.
Ross Chastain lost it and took out Brett Moffitt, and he knew he was in trouble. Moffitt and those two cars separated. Then down the front stretch, Moffitt went after him. Ross Chastain hung a quick left to get away. Otherwise, Moffitt was going to put a dent in his passenger side door.
Yeah, Chastain had to play a little avoidance there along the front stretch and did not collect any more damage, but it did bring out our 6th yellow of the day. From Kentucky Speedway, this is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
We are strong, we are resilient, and we will get through this together. But these are stressful times, and it's important to also practice good self-care. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, anxious, or afraid, but there is hope. Reach out to someone, connect with your friends, stay in touch with your community, and know that you are not alone. Learn more at wearebroadcasters.com/hope. Furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Under caution flag number 6 in the Shady Rays 200 here tonight at Kentucky Speedway. Mark Carroll with Doug Rice, Doug Turnbull, and Pat Patterson, our 2 O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporters, Brett McMillan, and the man we're about to go to right now, Brad Gilly.
Well, Mark, a wise man once told me that no one's going to give you anything that you don't ask for, and Chase Briscoe asked Austin Cindric to restart on the bottom and said he would give him a nice push if he would. Austin Cindric said, there is no way I'm not going to restart on the top for this one. And I can tell you, Cindric very happy with his race car, and it is just flying out front, as y'all can see.
He should be happy. He took away from the field there. And, Mark, we've seen it illustrated time and time again, and I don't like to pound this into the dirt, but aero is such a big deal in these races, especially for the lead car.
And at this point, Doug, the real fast lane around the racetrack right now, basically one groove. So a lot of times, the guy chasing the leader to get clean air will move someplace else to get clean air on the front, the nose of his car. They don't really have that tonight at this particular point, so it really makes getting by the leader even tougher. Let's go to Brett McMillan.
Well, Anthony Alfredo just came down during this caution period and put on 4 fresh tires, so we'll see how that works for him, even though he's going to have to start way back in the pack. And for the understatement of the year, let's put Dave Ellens, the crew chief for Noah Gragson, as a candidate. As soon as the caution came out, he says, well, that didn't work. Noah said, yep. So they'll see how it works. But he told him, same thing we talked about before. He said, the way you're going to get by these guys, you got to stick your nose out there, get some clean air on it, and then make your moves.
Well, the fact that Noah Gragson has led 87 laps up to this point and is now kind of struggling back in the 8th spot should tell you about all you want to know. By the way, it looks like the Justin Haley move to take on only 2 tires, not a threat to win, but Mark, it didn't hurt him. He was able to hold on to second there during that run.
Well, if you're running second, and at this point they go by, it is going to be a lap 105 going up on the board. That leaves 29 laps to go. Laps left, you're still in the hunt. Doug, this restart, absolutely critical for Noah Gragson. He's starting on the outside. That's been the fast lane. Doug, he's got to get by 3 or 4 guys right now if he has any chance to battle back to the front.
They'll come around and they will start this race again in the Geico restart zone. Did you know that right now Geico is offering an extra 15% credit on car, motorcycle, and RV policies? That's on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? Visit geico.com to learn more. And the field is set up behind that super pace car. Austin Haley is second. Third is Harrison Burton. Fourth will be Chase Briscoe. Fifth, Justin Allgaier. Michael Annett sixth. Riley Hurt seventh. Noah Gragson in eighth. Ninth is Ryan Sieg. And 10th is going to be Jeremy Clement.
Howard, Jesse Little, Ronnie Bassett Jr., Ross Chastain, and Myatt Snyder. And Briscoe, Doug, will line up the inside of row 2. Burton hit the timing light just a little quicker here as they were lining up 2 by 2. Bottom on this restart, but that's where he is, stuck behind the second place car of Justin Haley. To the outside, Noah Gragson is your leader. He'll control the restart. Let's go to Pat Patterson.
Supra pace car brings him around, and like my Uncle Chick used to say, this is the part where somebody might get their feelings hurt. Here comes the restart. Everybody's ready to go.
By the way, Uncle Chick is a quote machine, by the way. 27 laps to go, and they get to the line here. Up front, it is going to be Justin Haley to the inside, to the outside. It's Austin Cindric. Cindric gets a nice jump here on this restart. Haley will try to dive into the second spot, and now gains a little bit on Cindric into 1.
And right behind Cindric is Harrison Burton there. Rebound. Briscoe, what a restart. He slides up into that third position in front of Burton, and here comes the battle for the lead. Austin Cindric under Justin Haley.
Cindric bearing down into turn 3. He'll go by Haley so fast, and now Haley stacks the field up behind him. Cindric's going to get away. Here comes Briscoe.
Noah Gragson restarted 8th behind of Justin Allgaier, with Briscoe now 5 car lengths behind leader Austin Cindric.
And Cindric trying to lengthen it out over second place Briscoe. There's a car barely stopped at the end of pit road there. Looks like the 44 machine of Tommy Joe Martins, as Justin Haley's looking under Harrison Burton on those 2 tires on the back straight.
Cindric's got an 8-car lead on second place right now as they work down into turns 3 and 4. Briscoe that stays right in his tire track. Then right behind him, Harrison Burton holds on to the spot. Justin Haley, Justin Allgaier.
Let's see what happens in this battle here for the 4th spot. Justin Haley has it. Allgaier putting a lot of heat on him. Riley Herbst riding right behind them. And then it's going to be Noah Gragson in the 6th spot.
Justin Allgaier there, not able to get around to Haley, and Harrison Burton in the 3rd position is right in front of them. Each car is spaced out a car length apart, and Riley Herbst falling into the clutch of 7th place Noah Gragson.
Watching Gragson now, he is still battling the back end of that 18 car. Riley Herbst behind him, Mike Lynette. Then there's Ryan Sieg and Jeremy Clement.
As they work out of turn number 4, your leader Austin Cindric completing lap 10, just 24 to go. Hot spot, Justin Haley trying to hold off Justin Allgaier for 4th.
And that's going to be, yes, the 4th position there. Allgaier's in the 5th spot. It needs a good run this evening, but he's not able to gain any ground on Haley. And right behind them, a good battle as well. But and Noah Gragson.
Austin Cindric now once again down into turns 3 and 4. Car looks very good, very stable as he works off 4. Then there's Briscoe and Harrison Burton.
Noah Gragson dominated the first part of this race, but he has lost his mojo definitely. Gave up the spot to Riley Herbst, now battling back, but they are back there battling for the 6th spot.
And he's not able to shake him very easily, as Gregson's got to choose the non-preferred bottom line to do it, but he's going to shake him off there at turn 2. So move Noah Gragson finally up to that 6th position, but he's lost ground big time with the leader Cindric at 3.
Right in front of Gragson is his teammate. That's Justin Allgaier, then Justin Haley, then working their way all the way up to the 3rd position, Harrison Burton.
As they work out of turn 4, Cindric looking very comfortable out front. The gap just 0.8 of a second back to Chase Briscoe. Then it's Harrison Burton with Justin Haley and Justin Allgaier.
Equal spacing between 1st and 2nd and 2nd and 3rd, but that 4th position there, Justin Haley's still keeping Burton in his sights, and Justin Allgaier's really working to catch Haley there in that 5th spot.
Way on back, trying to watch Ross Chastain. He finally gets around Jeremy Clements. He's trying to catch up to that top 10 or so cars now as he works down into turns 3 and 4. Justin Allgaier now starting to get impatient with Justin Haley.
Ross Chastain right now riding in the 10th spot. Now we got a little action here between Justin Allgaier and Justin Haley. Allgaier dives down to the bottom of the racetrack, trying to take away that 4th spot.
That Brandt Chevrolet finishes off the Lee Filter Chevrolet of Haley, so move Allgaier up into that 4th position there, but it's about 5 car lengths ahead to 3rd place Harrison Burton.
Austin Cindric is driving away down into 3 and 4. Once again, here he is. Really fast, looks good off the corner.
Here's the good news for Noah Gragson. He is gaining on 5th place Justin Haley. Bad news, he's lost another half second to leader Austin Cindric with now 20 to go.
And Cindric pulls into turn number 1. Then Briscoe enters the turn, and Burton right behind him. But as the leader checks out, the top 6 or 7 cars are really spaced out. But a good battle there between Riley Herbst and Mike Lynette there about that 7th position.
Yeah, Doug, that was the one I was looking for. Once again, Riley Herbst doing a nice job. Mike Lynette tonight in a black and orange car trying to go after Riley Herbst. Midway through 3 and 4, and that can't make anything happen this time by.
That Annette car might be the hardest car to spot on the racetrack right now. The colors blend together on it, really hard to pick up. But right now he is doing battle with Riley Herbst. They're fighting it out for 7th.
The Annette machine kind of looks like the Ricky Bobby comeback car. If you remember that at the end of Talladega Nights there. But he's not going to finish off Riley Herbst's Monster Toyota as they exit 2 this time anyway.
Yep, flying those TMC colors out of Des Moines, Iowa. That's a good-looking race car tonight. But as Doug just said, it is kind of hard to pick up on the racetrack. Once again, Annette got 2 car leads off Riley Herbst.
So at this point, we just have 18 laps to go. Doug Rice, this race has absolutely flown by.
I've got to admit it, I love these kind of short sprint type races, 134 laps, 150 laps. I know a lot of race fans totally disagree about that. I think the drivers have to hit the intensity button a lot quicker in these shorter races than they do. And the guy that's hitting the button right now is Austin Cindric. Mark, he is just putting the field to sleep. He's got a 2-second advantage.
He is pulling away from Chase. Stop the red-hot Chase Briscoe. Looks like that name is Austin Cindric.
It certainly is, and he runs right up on the lap machine of Garrett Smithley and almost into him there and exits off of turn number 2. So it's going to be about a half a straightaway lead there for the 22 Snap-on Ford of Cindric.
You know, Mark, you were talking about old Stephen Light got a win here, you know, kind of a standalone deal, and you talked about David Gilliland. You know, this wouldn't be Cindric's first win, but it would be his first oval track win.
Cindric flirting with the wall there a little bit coming off of turn 4. Let's go down to Brett Miller.
Well, I'll tell you, it's problems for Chase Briscoe, just to the extent that he said he's really lost grip to the track, especially up in turns 1 and 2, and that may be the reason that he's fallen so far back.
So now, as they come back down to the line, there's going to be just 15 laps left in this race. It's Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, then 3rd Harrison Burton, Justin Allgaier 4th, Noah Gragson is 5th, Justin Haley 6th, Riley Herbst 7th, 8th Michael Annett, 9th Ryan Sieg, and Ross Chastain, who's had a very venturesome night, currently holding on to 10.
Let's give you the rest of the cars on the lead lap. Jeremy Clements is 11th. 12th is going to be Jesse Little. Kyle Weatherman, nice one of the night, 13th. Ronnie Bassett Jr., 14th. 15th, Anthony Alfredo. Howard is going to be in 16th. Myatt Snyder will be riding in at 7th.
And trouble in turn number 2 here. We got a car up against the wall. Doug, let me interrupt. It's going to be Colby Howard's machine out of JD Motorsports. He hit the turn 1 wall and kind of rode it halfway through the turn, and he stopped down the bottom of turn 2 for the caution here on lap number 120.
7th yellow flag. Tough break for Colby Howard. Doug, he was running pretty solid there in the 16th position, had run sort of top 15, top 20 all night long, so bad break for him. However, the one thing that Austin Cindric didn't want to see, and the rest of his competition did, was this yellow flag, as we have at this point 14 laps to go with the yellow lights blinking here at Kentucky Speedway.
Yeah, not a lot of cushion here, and we've got to get this car off the racetrack, and that's going to take a little bit of time to get that machine moved. And Mark, I think when we restart, probably going to be easily under 10 laps to go.
So what happens now, Doug? Most of these guys have plenty of Sunoco fuel. The Goodyear tires will last to the end, but most of them have a fresh set on pit road, so do you dare to gamble? And the worst spot to be is Austin Cindric, because no matter what you do, other people are going to do
that. Down there, as far as a new strategy play with tires versus staying out. All right, go ahead, Brad.
All right, Doug, I can tell you that the teams do have one fresh set of sticker tires laying in their pit stalls, but Austin Cindric was just told by his crew chief, Brian Wilson, look, we've got 20 laps on these tires, but we got about 14 to go. I don't think we need to come in. Cindric agreed. They think about the top 10 cars at least will probably stay out, which will give them a good cushion on the restart.
And that's exactly what happened. So good news for Austin Cindric. The other drivers behind them did not hit.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is PRN, the Performance Racing Network.
We're back here at Kentucky Speedway. You know, this racetrack has had some great finishes in years past, and we always catch, it seems, a yellow flag that makes things interesting at the end. Let's go down to O'Reilly Auto Parts pit reporter Brett McMillan.
Well, they actually did call Noah Gragson down, but when they said, come on down and pit, he goes, oh, too late. He'd already passed the commitment cone, and as he was coming by in the front stretch, he said, well, yeah, that was a good call, but I had already passed it.
So with everybody else staying out, Doug, I don't know if that would have been a good call because he wasn't going to win from back there, even with 4 fresh tires. He'll at least line up in the 5th position. Of course, he'll have the dreaded inside line on this restart, and all night long that has not been the place to be.
Well, I agree with you, Mark. I think coming into pit, you commit yourself to at best maybe a 10th place finish. Yeah, you're going to pass some slower cars, but you're taking yourself out of the equation for a top 5 finish, and I don't think the win's in the card. Cindric's got a really fast race car. He was gapping the field big time here before this latest caution. I'm not going to discount Briscoe. The guy's won 5 races this year. We'll see what he does on the restart.
Doug, I was just going to talk about Chase Briscoe. You and I talked before this race began today, just the mental toughness of this kid. He got past last week at Indy. A lot of guys would have just folded up and said, all right, I fell back to 3rd. I lost the lead. Let me take my top 5 and go home. He just grit his teeth and said, you know what? Not today. I am not losing. He's fought his way back not only to the lead but the win. I think that's the last guy you want really with you going into the final laps of this race. He's just that tough. He's going to make it hard, certainly, on Austin Cindric.
He really showed a lot last week. He overcooked a turn as the race leader, dropped back 2 spots, and you're thinking, well, he's done. Within a lap, he was right back up in the mix, regained the lead, then had to go through with that great 4-way battle to win that race at Indy.
And, Doug, we saw the same thing at Darlington, where he made a little bit of a mistake coming to the white flag. Kyle Busch took the lead, and guess what he did? He drove right back around him in turn 2. That showed me.
Of course, at Indy, which I thought was an unqualified success for the Xfinity cars, NASCAR's announced their new schedule. They're headed down to Daytona to run the road course at Daytona with all 3 series. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, you couldn't go to Watkins Glen. The governor was not going to allow that. So, again, going to Daytona, man, I love that road course. It's like a big roval. You got the road course to the inside, and then you're getting up onto the big track and the banking as well. I think it will be a fantastic show at Daytona.
I'm looking forward to it. I know some folks don't like road courses and don't like the idea of running a kind of a hybrid road course, but I'm thrilled about this. This is making the best out of a bad situation. I would much rather see them go to Watkins Glen. I think that puts on a fantastic show. But this is a nice fallback plan in my mind.
Absolutely. And again, NASCAR announcing the rest of the races in August. After New Hampshire, we'll go to Michigan for a doubleheader, the Daytona Road Course, then a Dover doubleheader. Kansas is in that mix. And then, of course, Daytona on the Oval will wrap up the regular season on the 29th of August.
Let's check in with Doug Turnbull. Doug, what's up?
I've got a reason that we're going to see less green flag laps here at the end of this Shady Rays 200. And if you see on the back straightaway, guys, from the booth there, a big plume of smoke. The 07 machine of Garrett Smithley, as he passed by me, there were flames shooting out of the right front of that race car. He immediately got out of the gas there and pedaled it to the halfway point of the back straightaway there, just at the Kentucky Speedway sign, and he's to the attention of the crew right now. So looks like not only is his night over, but it will extend this caution flag as well.
Good catch there, Doug. So we'll see how this affects it. NASCAR is going super slow right now with their pace car. They like to say, hey, pace car driver, drag your feet a little bit, and the feet are dragging right now. I did want to touch on one other thing, Mark. Next week on the Motor Racing Network from Bristol Motor Speedway,
All-Star Race.
Listen to the All-Star Race. They've also announced that all the cars that are qualified for the All-Star Race will have lights underneath them, different colored lights.
Different paint schemes. The numbers are going to change on the side of the cars.
I mean, they're playing. You know what, though? If you're going to experiment, and NASCAR's done this now for a while, the All-Star Race is the place to do it. That's when they reintroduced double-file restarts and did away with the old things. And they've really played around a lot with the All-Star Race. I like it.
And it gives them a chance, Doug, to try stuff. If it doesn't work, they'll go back to the drawing. Go back to a little boxing analogy. Got lights in the car, and so if somebody wrecks the other guy, turned his lights out. Is that it?
You could do that.
Boom, bang.
Anyway, it'll be a fun show. Tune in to our buds over on the Motor Racing Network. They'll have all the action of the All-Star Race, and then PRN will pack up, and we'll head down to Texas Motor Speedway.
Boy, the races are going to come hot and fast again here in August. I mean, the Xfinity Series is going to be racing all over the place. They'll head out in the middle of all of it to Road America as well. So we're going to see a lot of racing in the month of August.
They got the Garrett Smithley car off the track. We're about ready to go back to racing. Top 10, Chase Briscoe, Austin Cindric, Harrison Burton, Justin Allgaier, Justin Haley, Noah Gragson, Riley Herbst, Michael Annett, Ross Chastain, and Ryan Sieg.
The rest of the top 15, Jesse Little, Kyle Weatherman, Ronnie Bassett Jr., Anthony Alfredo, Myatt Snyder, and they're getting set to go into the Geico restart zone.
Watching that Toyota pace car, it'll take the left-hand turn on to pit road. 10 laps to go. It'll be 9 when they come back to the stripe, this time by and up front. On the outside, it's Austin Cindric. To his inside, Chase Briscoe. Behind them, Harrison Burton and Justin Allgaier. Who gets the advantage on the break?
And they fan out about 3 or 4 wide behind him, trying to get any kind of advantage. Chase Briscoe down low, edges out in front of Cindric, but he's going to push neck and neck down the back straightaway. Can't tell who's in the lead right now. Now it's Cindric.
Couple of blue ovals fighting hard now down the backstretch. Cindric up front, Briscoe to second. Right behind him is Noah Gragson along with Justin Allgaier.
Gragson took it 3 wide, exit of turn 2, inside of Justin Allgaier, outside of Harrison Burton. He jumps up to third. He's applying pressure to Chase Briscoe with just 8 to go.
But being in the lead, Austin Cindric can open up his entry to turn 1, and he does wide. Takes that high line. The top 5 are single file to Haley outside of Harrison Burton and Michael Annett.
Back there with a net, and Harrison Burton slows down just a bit. Ross Chastain trying to get in the middle of that one. Everybody digging at the bottom of the racetrack.
Let's see if Noah Gragson can find some speed now. He's fought his way back up to the 3rd spot. 7 car lengths behind second place Briscoe, but just 3 car lengths behind him finds Justin Allgaier.
Not only is clean air the advantage for the leader Cindric, but he can choose any part of the racetrack and angle his car as he wants. And he makes a wider entry than the others into turn 1 and is stretching that lead to 3 car lengths.
Stretching it out is exactly right, Doug, as he works his way down into turn 3. Here's Cindric, middle of the racetrack, right up in that sticky stuff. Works hard back on the throttle, back off 4.
Just 6 laps to go in the Shady Race 200 here at Kentucky Speedway. Austin Cindric in control. The gap now almost a half second back to Chase Briscoe.
Briscoe looking for that 6th win of the season. Cindric in the lead looking for his first, and they all choose the very bottom of the outside line, if that makes sense. Behind them at about the 6th spot, Harrison Burton working into Michael Annett, losing ground on the inside line.
Yeah, Ross Chastain's going to take advantage of Harrison Burton at that point. In fact, Burton really slowing down. Looks like Ryan Sieg's going to get to the bumper and start trying to work around the number 22 car. 20 car off 4.
Just 5 laps to go for race leader Austin Cindric. He is starting to gap the field. We'll call it 15 car lengths back to second place Briscoe.
And of course he had a lead even bigger than this when that caution came out a while ago. He's looking for that first oval victory. In second spot there, Chase Briscoe has not lost. Noah Gragson at 3rd. Gragson's trying to get that spot on the back straight.
Gregson's about 2-3 car lengths back there and about 5 car lengths back to Justin Allgaier as they work the bottom of 3 and 4. Meanwhile, again, Harrison Burton's going to go for a ride in turn 3. He locks up the brakes, tries to drag racing off of turn 4. Nice move. He holds on down to the bottom, hits the grass. We got caution again here in Kentucky.
8th yellow flag of the night. It couldn't have come at a worse time for Austin Cindric. He was just 4 laps, 6 miles away from the checkered flag, and this will put us into overtime.
Burton is able to drive away, gets down in the grass. He's down inside turn number 4, so his car gets righted, and he drives away. And watching the replay, he kept it out of the wall. I'm not sure how. He got dangerously close, spun it down in the grass, so no big damage on the 20 car, but a chance at salvaging a nice finish tonight has disappeared, and this is a guy that needed a good finish.
Doug, I want to mention, he did a great job. It was almost like he was drifting that car to try to keep it off the wall over there, like he was trying to drag race it right back down to the bottom. Great job of staying off the wall.
And Brad Gilly, are you down there in his pits?
Mark, not in his pit, but I can actually see what's going on in his pit. They brought him in. They made a 4-tire change for Harrison Burton. They'll send him away. I can also tell you that Austin Cindric hopped on the radio, told his spotter Coleman Presley, tell the 7 to push and I will go, because Austin will line up on the outside with Justin Allgaier restarting 4th. They're going to try and get a train going and push Austin Cindric back out to the front.
All right, we'll see how all of that plays out. Harrison Burton has now cleared the racetrack. 3 to go. It'll be 2 next time by. I have a feeling we're going to have one of these situations, Mark, where we'll kind of have a hybrid green-white checkered. I think they'll start the race with 1 lap to go in regulation, kind of what happened at the Brickyard 400 the other day.
So that means if we see the yellow flag, the race is over, right? Because they'll take the white flag? Is that the way it will work?
Well, once they take the white flag, yes, and then we get another flag.
Because they're getting the green and white together, so we'll
see how this sizes up here. Not any cleanup really involved here on the racetrack after Harrison Burton's wild spin. And, Mark, we talk about people having rough luck. Burton got off to a great start this year, won a couple of races right out of the box, and the last 3 or 4 races he crashed out and had horrible luck. I know you and I were talking about his stats earlier.
Yeah, 32nd at Talladega and Pocono, 25th at Indy. Right now, as we look on the scoring, he'll be still on the lead lap back there in 21st. So it has been a miserable month at this point for Harrison Burton.
Well, sometimes, if you've got the skill, though, and you've got the talent, you can turn things around.
Now, on the plus side, he's already been to victory lane.
Yeah.
So he has no worries about getting into the playoff. So certainly he wants to gain playoff points and, of course, would love to win the regular season championship. But nonetheless, you know, when you have a string of bad luck and you're already in the playoff, you can kind of rest a little bit easier.
All right, they're bringing the field back around. Looks like it's going to be a couple of more laps. We'll wait and see if they turn the lights off on the pace car here and get us ready to roll at Kentucky Speedway here in the Shady Rays 200. No, they keep the lights on. And, Mark, right now our scoring is saying 5 laps to go, so they're going to keep them out there.
And it looks like they're going to keep them out there long enough to restart this race for an overtime so you don't get that kind of weird hybrid kind of finish. And, again, Austin Cindric's going like, come on, man. I mean, what do we got to do to win this thing?
Mark, I still think he's got the best car, but strange things happen on restarts. We saw Briscoe hang with him to almost halfway down the backstretch on the last one.
A lot of this, Doug, will come down to whether or not Gregson and Briscoe in the second spot to the inside of row 1 can get linked up with Noah Gregson. And again, if you just joined us, Gregson has dominated, led 87 laps, had a bit of an issue on pit road, and he's never been a factor again. Austin Cindric stalked him the first 2 stages, which Gregson won. When he got out front at this point, nobody's been able to take it away from him, and he'll have to survive now at least one overtime period. But again, on his outside, Justin Allgaier is going to want to push him hard because that's his only chance to win the race. He's got to clear Briscoe and Gregson.
Tomorrow we'll be back on the air at 7:30 Eastern Time with the Alsco 300. Once again, the Xfinity Series cars will be giving you the entertainment of the evening, and so that race 100 miles longer tomorrow. Then on Sunday, a rare 2:30 start. We will be on the air at 1:30 with our pre-race show for the Quaker State 400 in the Cup Series. And then the following week, we're going to go down to Texas. Saturday, the Xfinity race, the My Bariatric Solutions 300. Sunday, the O'Reilly Auto Parts 500. And squeezed all in between that, the NASCAR All-Star Race from Bristol Motor Speedway. You can hear that network.
Well, if you're a NASCAR fan, you're going to get your fill in a big way here during the month of August for all of NASCAR's top 3 series. So here, let's set the stage. The lights are off. The Toyota GR Supra pace car. That means when they come back to the line, Doug, they'll complete lap 134. That is Shady Ray 200. Now you'll have the green, white, checkered flags go to his inside in second. Then Noah Gregson third, Justin Allgaier fourth, Riley Herbst fifth, sixth, Justin Haley, Ross Chastain seventh, eighth, Michael Annett, Anthony Alfredo ninth, 10th is Ryan Sieg.
Pat Patterson, this ought to be a lot of fun here in the Bluegrass State.
You know, Austin Cindric has worked so hard and come so close so many times, seemingly, to get this oval track win and mark that off his calendar. But I'll tell you, or mark it off his resume. But old Chase Briscoe, man, he has been so good lately. I love the 2 that we got up front here and the 2 right behind. You talk about hungry to win a race. Justin Allgaier's ready to do it. So is Noah Gregson. The GR Supra pace car about to make that left-hand turn. Wow, this is going to be fun.
So again, from the outside, Austin Cindric, Chase Briscoe, row 1. They're now rolling into the Geico restart zone. We're going overtime here at Kentucky in the Shady Rays 200. Green flag is out. Briscoe gets a slight advantage to the inside with a push from Noah Gregson. Austin Cindric fights back to the outside.
More like a shove from Gregson that pushes Briscoe out front. They are door to door for the lead there. Oh, Briscoe gets loose under him, and Cindric checks out a big wad of cars there. Nobody hitting each other as they had to get on the brakes.
Justin Allgaier goes sailing towards the back. Here comes Riley Herbst, but Cindric up front. He's down at the bottom of the racetrack. Austin Cindric's going to lead them all 4.
Austin Cindric with a 5-car length advantage right now will come back to the stripe. He will take a look at the white flag, 1.5 miles to go. Riding in second, Riley Herbst.
And so that would be Herb's best finish there. In third place, it's going to be the 10 of Ross Chastain. He looks under Herb's there for second spot as Cindric's trying to check out, and 4 cars battling for the 4th position behind them.
Austin Cindric just a half a lap away from doing something he has wanted to do forever, win on an oval. Behind him, though, the battle is good. Ross Chastain and Riley Herbst. We got cars sliding down the backstretch, but here comes for the win.
Down out of turn number 4, a bridesmaid twice in 2020. Austin Cindric finally gets his first win. He wins the Shady Race 200 here at Kentucky Speedway.
And I think what happened back there, Justin Allgaier was involved in a wreck along with 2 or 3 other cars. Allgaier's car made it almost a half a lap to go before it turns into a mangled mess.
That thing is tore up, Doug, and he got really shuffled on the back of that restart there, and they got cars that's sitting in the middle of the racetrack here. Really tough way to finish for a number of cars.
Also involved in that wreck, Timmy Hill and Ronnie Bassett Jr., who had run top 15, top 20 all night and were on the lead lap. And when Briscoe washed up the racetrack, poor Justin Allgaier had to completely leap out of the gas, slam on the brakes. And again, as we take a look at this coming out of turn number 4, we see those cars battling back there, and they get all tangled up. Allgaier gets into the outside wall, then hard into the inside wall. And I mean, all 4 tires came off the ground, completely destroyed. And Timmy Hill, with no place to go, hits the outside wall and then rams into Bassett.
Bassett Jr. or Timmy Hill, Mark, these are teams, they don't have big budgets. They don't have lots of money, and they were less than a half a lap intact that they could run tomorrow, and now they're going to have to go to car number 2.
And you look at Bassett as his car comes to a stop, Doug. It is destroyed. They may not be able to even fix. Lines up the runner-up in this race, Ross Chastain. What a night up and down for him. He winds up 3rd. Chase Briscoe finishes 4th. Anthony Alfredo, great run for the rookie driver for Richard Childress Racing in the Alsco Chevrolet. He was 5th. Michael Annett 6th. Justin Haley. And what about Kyle Weatherman? Look at this. He comes home 8th. Ryan Sieg by Ross Chastain. Brett Moffitt comes back to finish 10th.
And we'll be going down here to the start-finish line shortly. Our Brad Gilley will catch up with the race winner, Austin Cindric. I know not having fans robs a little bit of excitement for these drivers. Mark, a lot of them have chosen not to do burnouts anymore because they're going to wait till the fans come back. But still, it has to be a really satisfying moment. We've seen a couple of races. I remember at Atlanta Motor Speedway this year, we thought he was going to secure the victory. Had tough luck in that one, but not tonight.
Doug, he's been running up front, 4 top 10s, 3 top 5s in the last 5 races. He's been threatening. He finally gets the breakthrough for Roger Penske and the Snap-on Ford team, so congratulations to him. Chase Briscoe, well, he hangs in there to finish 4th, but again, a good car, but he never really threatened to win this race tonight. And you look at Noah Gragson. He winds up 11th after leading the most laps.
Let's go down to Brett McMillan.
Well, Riley Herbst comes in 2nd place, man. It just kind of opened up for you at the end and finished off what had been a pretty solid run with a great finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody at this Monster Energy Supra, we did a good job all day. We ran probably 4th all day, over-adjusted the car there at the end, got a little bit too tight, but all in all, we've had speed all year. We just haven't been able to capitalize probably mostly on my part in the final stages of these races, and so once we start capitalizing, we'll start getting good finishes like this, so it was good.
Well, it matches your 2nd place finish in California, so you're getting right back up there.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to tomorrow. Hopefully we can get this Monster Energy Supra just a little bit better and go for the win.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You could hear the excitement there from Riley Herbst, who kind of snuck out of nowhere and grabbed a 2nd place finish. Kind of giving you this race in a nutshell, it was dominated for the first 2/3 by Noah Gragson. He led 87 laps and then, falls away from it, and Cindric comes on and takes the win. Let's go back to Brett.
And I'm here with Ross Chastain, who's taking some water. A little humid tonight, but I tell you, things kind of opened up for you at the end. I know that was kind of one of those up and down nights for you, but you come home with a good 3rd place finish. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, sir. It's it definitely the record book will show a good night. Starting up front, 4th in both stages, and a 3rd place finish. But pit road to start the final stage is not how you win races in NASCAR. And then overdriving the entry to turn 3 and taking out Brett there, I hate that. The 0-2 group, I raced with Brett quite a bit, and we've had our fair share of run-ins, and I hate that I gave him another reason not like me. So I'll take some time to try to make that better. But I just overdrove it and got loose and took him out. So can't thank everybody at Colleague Racing and Chevy Accessories, everybody at Team Chevy for giving us this opportunity, and Matt Colleague, Nutrient.